Einigermaßen, sag ich mal. So, die insgesamt. Was sind da? Also. Ey, du sollst hier nie ansehen. Falsche Taste. Oh, jetzt muss ich noch mal schauen, wo wir jetzt genau sind. Okay, da haben wir ja sogar schon Unterschlupf. So, na gut. Dann oh, genau, hier drin war ich schon mal. Schade, dass man sich hier nicht porten kann. Oder? Nee, gut, muss man laufen. Und er lädt erstmal wieder. Und nochmal an, weil es so schön war. Komische Geräusche. Aber bin ja gleich da. Na gut, noch nicht. Ein dritter Ladebildschirm. Oh, hier sollte doch die Klinge sein, genau. Und ein vierter. Ich bin ja gleich hier sogar. In mein Zimmer. Das Rätsel will ich auch noch lösen.
Dying. It needs water.
Irgendwie für mich ist es ein Rätsel. Ich habe bisher kein Wasser gefunden. Was macht man denn in den Sprinter? Hatte ich irgendwie noch nie. Dass da sofort ein Ladebildschirm kommt. Das nimmt so ein bisschen immer den Spieltrieb raus, wenn so ein langer Ladebildschirm kommt. Der wenigstens irgendwie nur so ein langer Text, wie bei Darts zum Beispiel nur so Item-Beschreibung. Könnte man sich das in Ruhe durchlesen? Hä? Was ist denn nun passiert? Kleidung gewitzert? Und das Symbol erklärt mir auch überhaupt nicht, was das bedeutet. Ich habe jetzt auch nicht drauf geachtet, wie die Kleidung vorher aussah. Ich hoffe mal so. 120 müssen wir jetzt mal hier noch sprechen.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
Okay, da war ein Jäger anscheinend.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
So, sagen wir da. Das Vertrauen muss wieder hergestellt werden. Ein paar Leichen mehr wird man bemerken. Fürchten Sie um Ihren Ruf. Ja.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Das passt auch so schön. Bin ich schon wieder ihre einzige Hoffnung. Aber wir helfen.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Well, they are not far wrong. The hospital is almost crawling with vampires.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Okay, den
If you don't
Hampton müssen wir
mind,
finden.
I have a few questions.
I'd be delighted.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Prewen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I can guarantee one thing. The Guard of Prewen would never dare to attack the hospital while I'm in charge here.
Das ist schon mal gut zu wissen.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
Ich kann mich gar nicht daran erinnern. Habe ich versucht, eine Küche zu betreten? Als letztes war auf jeden Fall unsere Schwester wurde beerdigt.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
Ich habe einartige Kreaturen gesehen. Mann, ist das 2 Wochen her, wo ich das gespielt habe.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
Stimmt, gab's nicht so ein großes Vieh, was weg ist?
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened. Lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in. I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the Guard of Prewen come to hear of this?
McCullum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
Joa, jetzt haben wir ja alles gefragt.
Thank you, Edgar.
können wir auch uns wieder verziehen und den Hampton suchen.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Die will ich auch zu eigentlich als Vampire machen. Wie denkt ihr, dass sie ein Vampir sogar ist? Was ist denn der Typ? Oh. Das ist ja dann einfach zu verfolgen. Guck mal, die Schwester können wir auch noch ein.
Good evening, Doctor.
Aber erstmal ein bisschen ausfragen.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but well, maybe it was him.
Bestimmt nicht. Genau, das haben wir alles gefragt. Ja, dann RB.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Ja, komm, hier.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Ach ja, wie einfach das ist.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Ich habe mich die ganze Zeit immer gefragt, die hätte auch was Schöpfung?
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Oh, können wir ja auch noch fragen.
Can you tell me anything about recent events at the hospital?
Before the shouts and the noises, I think I heard whispers coming from the stairs. 2 voices, maybe more.
Did you recognize the voices? What did they say?
I couldn't hear. Sounded like they were arguing or something.
Kane, ist sehr viel Information.
Soldier.
Und ich werde bestimmt nicht hier jeden einzelnen nachfragen, weil...
I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead.
Das wäre mir ein bisschen zu viel Gequatsche.
Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Der hat ja gar nicht so viel Blut, aber also EP-Punkte, wenn man ihn aussaugt. Aber egal.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Ich helfe hier gerne. Oh, sie ist auch ein bisschen... Da ist doch die Leiche. Ich werde aber erstmal kurz mit denen hier reden, bevor wir mit der Lady Ashburn reden.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room, and Mr. Hampton's gone missing. Doesn't take a genius to piece it together.
You don't seem shocked by any of this.
Why should I be? Whoever did this must be long gone by now. And besides, he got rid of the old bag.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Well, thanks, anyway.
So. Ist das schon mal sehr gut.
Goodbye, Milton.
Sind wir schon mal sehr viel Medizin losgewonnen. Jetzt reden wir mal mit der Lady.
Oh, Jonathan. I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Genau, Lady Ashburn ist auch eine Vampirin. Was? Das ist, ja, Vampire halt, wa? Da können wir diese Mahlzeit auch teilen.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Ja, irgendwie muss das ja einen Grund haben.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Fällt auch gerade ein, ich habe ja auch sogar meinen Schöpfer schon gesehen und das war ja irgendwie so keine richtige Vampir oder so, es sah irgendwie so aus mit Hörnern, so ein Vampirwesen. Ach Quatsch, das wollte ich doch nicht fragen.
Like the other.
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Ja, ich finde, das macht das Spiel auch ganz gut, dass diese EP-Punkte hier für diese Blutaussaugung, aber dass wir einen Menschen töten muss und auch mit den Konsequenzen dann klarkommen muss. Deswegen, das ist schon sehr interessant gemacht.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Diese EP-Punkte sind echt verloren.
Thank you, my lady.
Also man kann leider hier auch gar nicht farmen. Oder eigentlich genau aus dem Grund. Das ist ja dann sehr gut. Das haben die echt ganz interessant gemacht. So, kann ich hier noch etwas machen? Nope.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from
Blutarmut. Können wir doch auch helfen.
Hey, Doc.
Seil ist ein totales Arschloch. Der Clay Kotz. Leider habe ich einen Bericht gesehen, wo man dann schon so ein bisschen erfährt, dass auch wenn man ihn tötet sogar
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take
auch
better care
denn
of yourself.
This place
nicht so cool ist.
and decay.
Sag ich mal so, ohne
How could I get better in
zu
such a
spoilern.
Consider yourself lucky.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
Der kennt mich schon, ne? Aber der hat auch noch ein paar... Hat auch gar nicht so viele Punkte. Ich glaube höchstens 1000, wenn ich den alle Hinweise finde. Und dafür gibt es sogar einen Erfolg, wenn man ihn das erste Mal leben lässt.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
All I know is I ain't letting anyone rip my throat out in my sleep. I found myself a nice play, Doc. I'm ready.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
The police may be slow, but they will find you eventually.
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then? Nah, Doc. I figure you have something to hide, so you can't ask the coppers for help.
Ja, ich sag ja. Ein sehr sympathischer
For
Kerl.
now, Mr. Cox.
Mutant Blight. Kenn ich dich schon?
Hello again, Mr.
Yeah.
Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe, for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
Ja bitte. Ich weiß gar nicht mehr, was er wollte.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... well, you know, sir. Stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we were in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
Ja, eine Rattenphobie. Okay. So, ich wollte noch mal gucken. Hier nämlich.
What caused caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Boah, das ist ganz schön hart. Ich glaube, das kann man sich echt nicht vorstellen. Und alleine was man, wenn man sich das schon vorstellt, wie furchtbar das ist.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
So, hier unten war da auch noch einer.